Are the audio levels from your radio hitting your DigiRig a little bit too hot? Hang around for a bit and I'll show you how to activate the internal attenuator in the DigiRig to cut down those levels. Next on AA3K On The Go. When I was using my DigiRig with my Yaesu FT-817 and WSJT-x for FT-8, I noticed I was pretty much overdriving WSJT-x, and the input level was going to the top of the scale and switching from green to red, indicating the overdrive condition. I decided to cut the jumper within the DigiRig to activate its internal attenuator. To lower the audio levels going into the analog to digital audio chip within this little device here. And since then, WSJT has been very happy showing the input audio levels being in the green. Now, I could have adjusted Windows and the input audio level there, but frankly, I forgot about that ability. So I was only thinking about the attenuator within the rig here. And that does give me one advantage, is that I can have this set up, and I only use this with my Yaesu FT-817, and I can take this to any computer, and I typically use two different computers when operating portable, my full-size laptop or the $60 Jenkopotamus laptop. So both of them are set for 100% audio level going through, and the attenuator in here takes care of the very hot audio levels coming out of my Yaesu FT-817. Now, some radios do let you adjust the audio output level if you're coming from the line out or the data out of the radio. In the case of my FT-817, it does not. Maybe later versions of it do, but I have a very original version, non-ND, of the 817. So let's take a look at how to get inside a DigiRig and get to the jumper and show you how to cut it. Really, it will only take you a few minutes with a utility knife. So, what do you need to activate the attenuator within your DigiRig? Obviously, you need your DigiRig. An X-Acto or utility knife to actually cut the trace. Now, I've cut traces in the past using an X-Acto knife, and I've always kind of felt it was a little bit precarious with the thinness of an X-Acto blade. So for this particular attempt, I decided to use a utility knife, and I still had to put a little bit of pressure to actually cut the trace. It took me about 3 swipes before my ohm meter registered an open circuit between the two pads, and I probably would have ended up doing more with an X-Acto knife, and I really didn't want to risk breaking the blade and having it fly off somewhere in the middle of the operation. And finally, a Phillips head screwdriver to open up the DigiRig. First step, just remove the 4 screws holding on one of the ends of the DigiRig. And we're going to speed this up so I don't have to bore you with this particular segment. And don't lose any of these small screws. And there we go. All 4 screws removed from one end. Pull that out. Kind of note also where the actual board slides in so you can replace it in the same spot. And there is the actual DigiRig. Though the DigiRig has been through several iterations of design, they all have the attenuator circuit as part of their fundamental structure. So you just have to look on the board, and eventually you'll see a pair pads, and it will be marked ATT for attenuator. If you look carefully at the unmodified board, you may not actually see the small trace between the 2 pads. When I first looked at it, I did not think it was there, and I had to take out my ohm meter and test the continuity between the 2 pads. And needless to say, it was 0 ohms. So the attenuator was out of the circuit, and that just bypasses the attenuator. You just need to, in this case, I recommend for this design going in this direction down, just open up your X-Acto knife or your utility knife. You really don't need a long length. Get between the two pads. Keep your other fingers out of the way so they don't become part of a accident waiting to happen. Maybe work on it like this and bear down a little just at the top of those pads and pull down and make 2 or 3 passes until you see a groove. Take out your ohm meter and check between the two pads. Once you see infinite ohms between the two pads, you know you've opened up the shorting and bypassing of the attenuator circuit, and now all of the input audio that comes in to the DigiRig will go through that circuit and be dropped by several dB. And in my case, with my use of WSJT, the overloaded input dropped and went into the green. It's, in my opinion, maybe hitting it still just a tiny bit more than I would like, but WSJT is happy, and I've been able to successfully use my FT-817 to make FT8 contacts, and it should work with all of the other modes that WSJT supports. Reassembling the unit is really simple. Just slide it back in. Put the end plate back on, put the 4 screws in, and you're good to go. And there you have it. That's how you activate the audio input level attenuator within a DigiRig. Just be careful with the X-Acto or utility knife that you don't cut yourself other traces or damaged components on the circuit board within the DigiRig. I've cut several traces over my career in circuit boards, and I'm always kind of surprised at how many swipes it takes with a X-Acto knife or a utility knife. Now, I went a little faster with the utility knife because I could put a little bit more pressure on it I was cutting, but as I mentioned, it took me about 3 passes until I saw the open circuit between the two pads. If you ever want to undo the attenuation that you've activated within here, you just have to get a little bit of a solder blob across those two pads, and in a few seconds you'll have the attenuator deactivated. Will I end up doing that to mine and just going to adjusting the audio level in Windows? We'll see. For the amount of FT8 that I do with the 817, it's been working fine with the attenuator enabled within here. Hey, thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you found this information useful. And remember, I am trying to help you make the outdoors your ham shack. This is Mark AA3K, and I'll catch you next time.